Morning. Happy Friday. All right, my friends, your word today is presentiment. Go ahead, hit pause, and try to figure it out. All right, so Ted had a presentiment that he was not going to like his present. Now, let's take this sentence, take the structure, and plug in a word that uh, fits. So, Ted had a dog. Ted had a car. Ted had homework. Ted had a bad day. When you have something, right, you usually have a thing. So he had a presentiment, he had a thing, it's a noun. So again, that's a good technique to figure out the part of speech. Now, he gets a present from a Grim Reaper. So he probably had maybe a feeling that he wasn't going to like his present. Let's look at a different sentence. Ray had a presentiment that he would hear from Tony before the end of the day. Ray had a feeling that he would hear from Tony before the end of the day. Exactly. So if you think about pre, right, a preview or a, like to prepare, pre means before, and a sentiment is a feeling. So Ted had a feeling before, like he knew, right? So a presentiment is a feeling you have before. So it's almost like forethought, foreshadowing, like a sense of what's going to happen in the future. All right, my friends, I got a short class for you today. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the yearbook. So the yearbook this year is going to be a little different from normal, obviously, because, well, we haven't been in school for a while. So there are quite a few events like the play, or, like field day or May crowning or like the field trip we go on at the end of the year. There are a lot of these events, school masses, lunch, all the spring sports, right? And your classes, right? So there are a lot of things that we would have had pictures of in the yearbook that we just don't, right? So I had a good idea. I was talking to Mr. Foyne about this because he's working on the yearbook as well. And what I'm hoping is that on these pages, which are, blank, well, that's just boring. What if we wrote a poem looking forward to these things for next year, right? Maybe we write a poem about our favorite field day. Or if you were in the play, maybe you write about what it was like rehearsing this year. Or what if you wrote about last year's play? I guess they were short plays, but or the year before that. So that's kind of what I want you to do. So for today, I only want you to do two things. All right, your assignment. I'll show you on Classroom in a minute. I want you to pick one of these topics that you want to write about. And I want you to pick one that is near and dear to your heart. Like, if you love track, like that is your sport, well, I want you to write about track. If you love hanging out with your friends at the play, like maybe making the sets or something like that, well, then write about the play. If something hilarious happened at field day last year, well, I want you to write about that. If you really love dressing up for May crowning, I want you to write about May crowning. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pick a topic. And then all you're going to do, you're not writing a poem yet today. I want you to make a list of what makes that event so special. Okay, so I'm going to go to Google Classroom and kind of show you what I mean. So on Google Classroom, it's posted on the stream. I'll just go to classwork because obviously all your classwork is on classwork. So it's called the Yearbook Memory Poem. Okay, and I'll pull it up. And I've got a list of all those different topics, right? So for me, I'm going to go through this right now. I'm going to be writing about the play I'm going to write about the one from 2 years ago, okay? Maybe it was 3 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, all right? So again, all you're going to do, you're going to plug in, maybe you're writing about track from last year, and maybe you write from 6th grade or from 5th grade, right? So you just kind of pick, or maybe you do May crowning from 5th grade, or the field trip from 3rd grade, okay? So basically, I just kind of want to know when and what event you would like to write about. And then I want you to make a list of the best, most fun things that you can remember about that event. So, for example, like I said, one year for the school play, so I'm writing about the play, Mrs. Malinowski, she came and asked during lunch if I could fill in for a student who was sick. So I find out about this during my lunch break. I had a horrible headache that day. I said yes, but my head was killing me. So I went to Mrs. Balderas and I asked for Tylenol. She's always got Tylenol for me. She's very kind. And then I had to practice all these lines. And I remember I read through them in the teacher's lounge. And then I went and into the gym and we kind of ran through the lines. And my head was hurting so bad. I was so nervous and I was sweating so much. So as you can see, I'm just kind of listing things that I remember about that event, right? Like if I was writing about the field trip that the pilgrimage I went on this year with the 7th grade, I would just kind of go through and say, okay, we're on the bus. We played the ABC sign game. That was really fun. And so on and so forth. Oh, I remember playing in the gym. And I remember walking through the science building. It was really cool. So all I want you to do today, you don't have to write any poem. You're just picking an event, right? Maybe you write about the basketball season from this year and how it got interrupted. Or, how you were so excited about the play. So pick one of these events and describe it in as much detail as you can. All right? And then on Monday, we'll work on actually making a poem. All right? So I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. Stay warm. It's going to be cold tonight. Protect your plants if they're outside. Later, guys.